Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we are going to talk the future of turkey. Yes, wild turkey. Shout out to Chris from Bourbon Retriever. If you have not subscribed to his channel, go over there and subscribe. Puts together some great content. And this is where I got the idea for this video because he did one great job of breaking down Jason C's video. So had it not been for the both of them, I wouldn't know anything about what's going on at Turkey. So shout out to both of those guys. But he did a great breakdown of Jason C's video talking to Bruce Russell. I think it was like a 2-hour live that he did one night. So I got some key takeaways that I think you guys need to know about. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to him, go over and subscribe to the Bourbon Retriever. But let's get into it, man. So in this glass right now, this is not a fan favorite, but it is the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit. So we are going to come full circle, but I had to write down notes because there were some great things that they talked about. When it comes to the Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirit, it is going to be an overseas and gift shop release only. The reason being is because Wild Turkey 101 picks are coming out. So that is something that you need to be on the lookout for. So hopefully the Wild Turkey 101 picks are cheaper than the Kentucky Spirits, because that was always my issue with the Kentucky Spirits. The first one I got, it was decent, but it was like, okay, it's a Wild Turkey single barrel and it comes in at 101. So what stops me from just going to buy a regular 101 at like 23 bucks when this thing is more than double the price? So that's what was a little off-putting. But since they are going away and becoming gift shop releases only, and the new Tyrone releases are out because they had the Camp Nelson. Now they got some Camp Tyrone stuff, and we'll get to that later on in the comments. You might want to pick up a few before they go. All right, so the 13, Russell's 13, this bad boy right here, will be coming back. Now, Russell's 13 did not come out the year of the Russell's 15, and we're going to get to that in a minute too. But it will be coming back. Bruce also said that there is a possibility of multiple releases per year. So that is a great thing. All right, let's get into 15. Unfortunately, if you have a 15, you are special because they are not coming back until, and this is a quote from Bruce, they find some special juice. He was like, they are not going to just release a 15-year-old product unless it's special. So if you have one, you are lucky. You are one of the lucky few because there's no chance of telling when we're getting another one. However, he did give a little bit of a nugget in the video saying that if you love 15, you will love what's coming up for 2026. All right, so the 12-year will stay an overseas release. Unfortunately, yes, I know many of you love it. I liked it. I did a video with it. Don't have my own bottle. Shout out to Dave V. He got me a sample. It will remain an overseas release only. And one of the main reasons is because of proof. And one of the other reasons is because Russell's 13 keeps them from being able to release them here in the States. So overseas, they are taxed on proof. And it just makes more sense, they said, to just go with the Wild Turkey 12-year coming in at 101 versus doing, the Russell Reserve single barrel picks, and the fact that they are releasing more Russell's Reserve 13s in the United States. It would put a damper on the supply. So that was what they decided to come up with from a business standpoint. All right, so also, he gave a little bit of what's up on the RR10 LLMEs. So I guess Campari as a company doesn't like to release a lot of information. The only thing he kept hinting at is that the Russell's Reserve 10 LLMEs was a special blend. And he said it more than once in that video. And like I said, go over to Chris's channel and check it out, or go over to Jason's channel and check it out. But he kept saying that that was a special blend, very special blend. Like I said, he said it more than once. All right, when it comes to the rare breed non-chill filtered, which I do not have, and I can't wait to get myself one. Almost had a chance to get one. Shout out to Ben from the Bourbon though, because when he went to Puerto Rico, there was one in the duty-free shop. So when me and the wife went to the Dominican Republic, and we flew through Puerto Rico, I went looking for one. And the lady in the gift shop said, oh yeah, we had some of those, but they're all gone. Man, I'm not going to say I was hot, but I was like, wow, I really missed out. But anyway, so that will come to the States. That is finally going to come to the States. He said it was not an international release. It was a duty-free release, because when it comes to duty-free, you really need to have something special. He was like, they don't just take like anything. He said you really need to have something special. Now, I haven't shopped duty free in a while. I'm pretty sure they have some of your just bottom shelf Jack stuff, but Jack is a big guy, so you got to go with what sells also. The Wild Turkey 101 8-year. Thanks for checking out the channel. Now I would love for you guys to go over to bourbondropstore.com, where you can get this amazing heavyweight hoodie as well as the black Bourbon Drop tee. Don't forget about the blog. I've got recommendations for all whiskey drinkers from 80 proof all the way up to 130 plus. So you've got beginner, intermediate, and experienced bourbon drinkers. Don't forget about the bourbon news as well, because you can catch some of the latest bottles and what their mash bills are, their prices are, and what their notes are supposed to be according to the manufacturer. Now, I've got my different notes. You guys also keep an eye on the channel, because bottles that you see up here will be coming soon. Check out bourbondropstore.com, link below. It's going to be released in the States. So he said the Wild Turkey 70th, that was special. That was something that Jimmy didn't know anything about it. They would go to him with these batches and say, hey, do you like this? Do you like this? Do you like this? And he finally, they finally were like, they decided that he really liked this one particular one right here, and that's what they went with. Now, he says you are going to love the price. They are going to release it right beside, because you guys know I'm a paper label dude, right? He said they are going to release it right beside the Wild Turkey regular 101. He said that is their bread and butter. He said they're not doing away with that. So that'll still remain a release while the Wild Turkey 8-year comes out as its own release, and it's going to be at a better price point than what this one came out at. So I can't wait to see what the price is. I mean, even at $39.99, that would still be a great price point. All right, so Bruce's Master Keep. I don't want to necessarily call it Bruce's Master Keep, but he said that the Master Keep Beacon is something that he worked on, that Jimmy kind of, told him what to do, because he said Jimmy made whiskey different back then. From everything from picking out the yeast strain, to making sure that it fermentates right, to making sure that all of the grains go together well, to making sure, taking the temperature of the mash bill. I mean, he said Jimmy did everything from start to finish. He said this is the first time that he's ever done anything like that, starting in 2014. So that kind of tells me, and he said the younger of the blend will be his stuff, and he started in 2014. So that tells me that it's going to be some pretty old whiskey in the Beacon. How much it's going to be, I don't know. I don't think he really got into that. But he said this will be special to him, because after this release, he's not sure when another Master's Keep will come out. He said, they're not necessarily sunsetting the Master's Keep. They just kind of don't know, I guess, at this point what they're going to do with it going forward. But this is going to be very special to him, because not only did Jimmy, show him the road as far as doing his own mash bill, everything all the way up, like I said, from start to finish, but it's going to be blended into this Beacon, and that might be it for a while. But coming back around full circle to the Camp Tyrone. Now, this is what he said in the video, and I am quoting him. Recently, he tasted some Camp Tyrone Warehouse B that tasted like releases from 2015, 2016, and 2017. I go into the Virginia ABC and I see that they have Wild Turkey Kentucky Spirits. I look at it now. At the time, I didn't remember anything about, Tyrone Warehouse B, but I look at it, And I was like, okay, Tyrone B, whatever. I was like, I know that he's mentioned something special about Tyrone, so, let me go ahead and pick it up. And I know that they're going away, and I'm not getting down to the gift shop anytime soon, so let me pick it up. And I got it home. I wasn't expecting anything special, and I was wrong. Let's get into the nose. Oaky, clovey, a hint of like fruit. It's like a hint of a mild fruit. I'll get more into it once I get into the first sip, but let's get into the palate. Burst of fruit, burst of caramel, burst of clove that comes back out in the end. The spices on the mid, that is so good and so sweet, man. It going off of memory, it actually reminds me of the Wild Turkey 70th. But it is very sweet, very fruit forward. The clove is very light and in the back, but it's got a little bit of spice that hits you immediately on the mid. You pick up a little bit of oak. Now I'm starting to pick up a little bit of like leather across the back. All right, let's go back into the nose, see if I can pull anything else out. I just got finished cooking dinner, so I am, my nose is a little fried from the kitchen right now. I'm sitting up here smelling what I just got finished cooking. Yeah, still fruity. When I got it home that day though, and I told you guys that I like my whiskey at room temperature or better. Now, this thing has been down in the Bourbon Drop Studios. I tried to take it up to the garage because the garage was about 70 degrees. It's been up there in the garage for a few hours. It's still a little chill. It didn't warm up to the way it was when I got it home. When I brought it home, it was warm and it was nothing but like caramel and honey and clove. It was so viscous. It's still got a viscous mouthfeel right now. Let's get back into the palate one more time. Second sip, still that clove, still picking up that oak. Very nice fruity notes, man, like a light fruit. Very light, nice fruity notes. Super sweet. It's really got a nice mouthfeel across the palate. When I brought it home that first day, super viscous, super thick. I don't know what it was. It is more medium now. I would never consider this medium to thin or thin. This is more medium coming across the palate. Spice in the back, leather in the back. I mean, spice on the mid, leather in the back. Starting to pick up a little bit of like a ginger zing on the mid. This is a really good glass. Like I said, man, I was not, he said Tyrone, and we all look at Kentucky Spirit and we're like, okay, whatever. 101, it's a single barrel 101. That's all it is. And like I said, my first one, I was like, this one is actually making me reconsider because I'm kind of like, should I go back and get a second? It is that good. And I mean, look, in the $60 category, there are some monster bottles. You're talking about Knob Creek, the 120 proof single barrel. You've got Old Forester 1920. You've got the Rickhouse proof, which I have behind the camera that I'm about to shoot for the next video. So a bottle in that $60 category to me has to stand up. I think this stands up. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you head it to a drop. Till next time.